I'm ready. I'm like Spinderella over here.
You're like the spin doctors.
No, they're like white guys in the 1990s. I'm not the spin doctor. Oh wait. Oh, I am. Damn it.
I didn't know how else to break it to you.
That song?
Welcome to Word Rango, the game show where dictionary definitions produce knowledge and comedy. 4 words enter, 1 word leaves, and is crowned champion. Our steely nerve competitors, a writer, another writer, a voice actor, and that other guy. And now it's gloves off, and set your dictionaries for fun. It's time for Word Rango. Here's your host, Mike Suzak.
Welcome to Word Rango. My name is Mike Suzak. It's episode 32, the FDR episode.
What?
Get it?
What the
president?
hell?
Yeah, you know, he's the.
You can't just loosely associate a number with a person. Was he the 32nd president?
He was the 32nd president.
Oh, okay. Carry on then.
And he also had the best middle name on the Delano. Delano. Nobody's named Delano. Like, you would think there would be this crazy onslaught of people named Delano after FDR, and that never really happened, right? I've never met a single person named Delano.
But he pioneered the whole, like, sitting in a wheelchair with like a blanket on my lap look, you know? Like, he was a big pioneer in that regard.
We did get a lot of that afterwards. I'm joined this week, as always, by Bob Delano Ball.
Bob Ball, 2016.
Dave Delano Hinkle.
Hello.
And not Ryan Delano Lewis, because Ryan's out this week, unfortunately. These things happen. Well, there's really no explanation. In fact, you can all tweet him at Ryan the Lou. That's RyanTheLou. Ryan the Lou. And be like, what gives, yo? Why you not doing this word thing? And he'll get it. And he'll probably won't respond. He'll call you a butt or a penis face or something. He does that to me all
I just
the time.
literally tweeted him that exact sentence.
Good, thank you. But you know what? We could still do this. We could still give you guys knowledge and comedy. We do that every week. What we do is we give you guys words, their definitions, and it sounds weird, but in practice it actually works. And I've gotten a lot of response from people that know words like veneration. Well, you maybe knew that one before. Let's try another one. They now know words like milquetoast and interrobang and cerament. I mean, there's a lot of...
And jumentus.
Duende.
And nadies.
And farouche.
And duende. And there's so much good stuff that we give you guys, and we're going to continue that this week. We may only have 3 words, but you know what? It's still going to be good.
Mike Suzak, how does this game work?
I think Bob, I think I told him. I mean, it's, we all bring a word to the table. We all guess them definitions. We give the real ones, decide that our guesses were probably better, and we end the show. You know what, though, to get started, I have to say, last week, Dave, you and I tied.
Cheaters.
Yes, we did, and I was not happy about that.
Kind of looking back there. Yeah, no, you weren't, because you were really thrilled about your word fard, which was one letter off from fart. But my word, cantrip, went over really well. So you know what that means. It means it's time for a toss-up! In order to do a toss-up, Dave, we just mentioned a whole bunch of words that happened in Word Rango's history.
Yes.
I'm thinking of one of them. You have 3 guesses. If you get it right, you get first word this week.
Okay. Is it jumentus?
No. That's 1.
Is it milquetoast?
Nope. That's 2.
Oh, then I'm going to have to go with farouche.
Damn! It is farouche.
Hell yeah, it is.
It actually is
farouche.
farouche.
Be thinking about farouche. That comes up a bunch of times during the day.
I was really thinking that you were going to go elsewhere, but yeah, it really was farouche. I mean, maybe, I don't know if we mentioned that right now, but we were talking about our words before the show. But it was definitely farouche. Dave, congratulations. You have first word this week. Dave, tell me, what's your word?
All right, let me hit you guys with this one right quick. My word this week is garrulous. Garrulous.
Garrulous. Bob, how do you think that's spelled?
It's actually a guy's name. It's Gary Lewis, Gary space Lewis. Gary Lewis.
Dave, is he right?
Sorry, it was Louis, no Lew. He doesn't spell his name like a farmer, Bob Ball. He's a dignified
I misheard.
man.
It's actually Jerry Lewis. So this is something pertaining to a telethon. Is that correct?
Yes.
How is it spelled, Dave? How is it spelled?
My word is spelled G as in Jerry or Gary, whichever. Garrulu. Oh no, sorry. I just misspelled.
Whoa, there's a lot of U's in there.
I think I just misspelled my own word for the first time ever on this show.
You did. You just lost a bunch of points on it. Honestly,
it's Garrulus. Garrulus.
Garrulus. Okay. I mean, I ask everybody how they spell their words because I'm actually writing them down as you guys do it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes these words, especially ones from Ryan, I've noticed, get to be so complex I need to go through it a couple times. We were almost there when you fucked it up, but Garrulus, there's a couple different things that are rolling through my brain. I need a bit to process it. Bob, what do you think Garrulus means?
Garrulus. It's the experience you feel when... Well, okay, let me set the scene. You might want to grab a drink and make yourself comfortable. Picture it. You're in the jungle.
The mighty jungle?
Does a lion sleep tonight?
You're looking for the Chachapoyan fertility idol. You've been searching for it for months in the dense vegetation of this South American wilderness. But then you hear it. You hear the beating of the native drums. You know that's the drum beat of the Chachapoyan warrior tribesmen. You have to find that idol and get it out in order to save your life. As you run through the thick flora, whipping you in the face, around a bend, you see it. The small golden monument to Tlatzotero. The brilliant, shining likeness is entrancing. You grab it, you shove it into your 1940s messenger bag, and as you turn around, you feel the sweet, hot sting of an arrow in your left shoulder. As your blood, your life force begins to spill down the front of your shirt. You see the face of the Chachapoyan archer who has ended your life. Your bag falls helplessly to the ground as the Tlatzotero effigy rolls out of your bag and back into the hands of its owners. You reach to feel the wet, sanguine fluid now clotting on your shirt. As the blackness begins to envelop you, you wake up. It dawns on you that instead of taking your Ambien and going back to bed, you instead took your sleep aid, you slapped in your Blu-ray of Raiders of the Lost Ark, you grabbed the grape jelly from the fridge, and you laid down on the couch and you started eating. On the plus side, you're not impaled by an arrow. Downside, you're covered in Smuckers. But with a name like Smuckers, it has to be good, right? That's Garrulus.
Smuckers. I had a feeling you were going Raiders of the Lost Ark for a bit there. Pretty obviously, but I really like where we ended up. So Garrulus, yeah, I feel like I've almost had that happen. True story. When I was younger, I was still living at my parents' house. I once turned on the oven, put a frozen pizza in there, and fell asleep on the couch, and then woke up to smell burning. And nothing was burning down, luckily. But what I did do is I freaked out, turned the oven off, opened it up to find a pitch black pizza. I mean, completely black. And I'm lucky that, I didn't burn the house down. That was amazing. No one really knows that. I think my brother might be listening to the show now, so now he does. But yeah, that happened. And I feel like if I just had went the Smuckers route, that probably would have wound up being a better story, kind of like Bob's. But I like that. That's okay. That's good. Garrulus, I need to get my guess, and I'm going to say that it is a somewhat inappropriate Schoolhouse Rock song. Like, are you guys familiar with
somewhat inappropriate? Like, it's for the most part, it's 80% on message and it's great, but it's just a random casual references to Satan that could be taken out.
Right, stuff like that, like, I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm gonna kill you in your sleep tonight. Like...
Yeah,
like
we've all been there. We've all been there.
Right, it's Schoolhouse Rock, but it references drugs. It references just, some off-color stuff.
Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Look at those tatties on that girl over there.
It's like, what are you doing? Kids shouldn't be hearing that, but at the same time, you don't know. I mean, you pop in the VHS on a rainy day in school when no one's allowed to go outside for recess, so they're all like, yeah, let's watch Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah.
And then, when they do, they realize, what did we get ourselves into? But they are learning, and that's the important thing, is that they're learning. It's sort of like the Schoolhouse Rock of Knox, right? School of Knox, Hard Knock. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Schoolhouse Croc.
Schoolhouse Croc. What it is I picture it as being like being garrulous is like introducing some hard truths within Schoolhouse Rock. You know what it's like to be on the streets, in addition to like learning long division or something. Within the context of Schoolhouse Rock. That's kind of what I think. I don't know.
Hard Knocks, Schoolhouse Rock. I'm really trying to get this business venture together here.
Dave, what's garrulous mean?
Well, I'm sad to report that garrulous is not like the bad guy in a Battlefield Earth type sci-fi movie. It is, in fact, garrulous means, it's an adjective, and it means excessively talkative, especially on trivial matters. So, we're all pretty garrulous dudes here on this podcast, and I think this word is pretty fitting for our motley lot here. Motley lot? Yeah.
Sure. Motley lot. So talkative on trivial points, right? Basically.
Yeah, just excessively. Like, that person who just will not shut up. Just like past the point where you should have stopped talking. It's getting uncomfortable for everybody. This person won't stop. You keep thinking it'll end, but it won't. Because they're committed to a joke. They're a garrulous son of a bitch.
Performance art.
Hashtag NC.
I mean, that really... we've had a lot of words that I think really appropriately describe us, either individually or the show as a whole. Like that one episode where we all brought words for Bob. He didn't expect it. But I think this one is pretty much hitting the nail on the head. Because that's just who we are. It's who we be. Like DMX. That's who they don't know who we be. Good. Garrulous. Yes. We don't have anything to. I don't have anything to add. I don't know. I mean,
well, it just goes to show you what happens at a show when Ryan's not around. When he chooses life and the people in it above his podcasting friends.
What we could take a moment to just ponder what would Ryan say. And my guess is he would have used garrulous. He would have riffed on garrulous being. The name Gary in some way. And I was about to go that route, but like, I don't know a lot of guys named Gary.
Yeah. Or just you're at a loss for Garys in your life. You're garrulous. It's like, hey, I got a lot of Pauls. I got a lot of Franks. I got a lot of various friends in my life, but I'm lacking in Garys. I don't have any mechanics named Gary or. Like Gary's a pretty blue collar name, I think. I don't think many Garys get the white collar status.
I mean, if people can't tell, this is a little bit of an, it's a different, we're doing a little different approach this week. Dave, I'm curious, like when you look up a word, when you find words for the show, do you ever have a sort of moment where you kind of guess in your head what it means before you read the definition? Because I'm wondering if you did that with garrulous and if that's what came up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't help but see the word before the definition when you're hunting for things for the show. That's a physical impossibility. There's no way you could possibly know the definition before the word.
Right.
Frankly, it's a very stupid question. But
dirty bastard.
no, but I will say that like certain ones, I mean, who knows if I'm pronouncing them correctly in my head when I'm finding them on my own.
Probably not.
We know my problems. They're well documented. So I just look for stuff that sounds good, has a good meaning, will touch us in our hearts and our minds, and that's just really my approach.
Good. Dave Hinkle, 2015. A non-election year.
Running for local comptroller in 2015.
You would be a comptroller.
I control the shit out of some comps, dude. Are you kidding me?
You
I
would.
control those comps like none other.
Let's get to the next word. People are dying to hear it. I'm going to go next since I tied with Dave last week. Bob, you get last word.
I'm busy getting all up in some comps. I'm okay over here. I'm just gonna comp it.
My word this week is furuncle.
Furuncle?
Furuncle.
All right, can I spell
Is that like when your uncle is Hitler?
Dave.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's where I went immediately. F-U-H-R-U-N-C-L-E.
No.
Oh,
it is F-U-R-U-N-C-L-E. Without
That's
the H.
furuncle. That's not furuncle. That's furuncle.
It is. I checked. It's pronounced furuncle. I thought it was. It looks like furuncle. It really, absolutely does. But it is pronounced furuncle. Dave, your first thought. What do you think this word means?
Furuncle is, how like every time you have, like when you're a kid and you have to get together for the holidays with the extended family, it's like Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, and you've got like your cousins there and you're just bored as hell, and it's like there's some outdated video games you could play, or you can maybe just go run around outside in the cold. But you always have like this one uncle. Like you have a bunch of uncles usually in a family. You have like your drunk uncle. You have like your, you're obsessed with working out uncle. You have your unemployed uncle who's sleeping on the couch. Then you have your fur uncle, who is that one uncle who's just so weird about always trying to like get into horseplay and wrestle around with you, but you're like well past that age where it's appropriate to be like wrestling on the living room floor with your uncle on Thanksgiving. And like that's your fur uncle. It's like, dude, chill out. Your stubble on your face is weird against my stomach. Why is your face even against my stomach? Like, why do I have to take my shirt off? I'm 12. I shouldn't be wrestling an old man.
No.
Just so many questions. Like, how are you?
Does he always avoid using your real name and just refers to you as Poland?
Yeah, or if you're English, he just refers to you as Scotland. But yes.
I do think that there are obviously these weird semi-creepy uncles out there where they I think where it originates from is that they aren't used to being around kids. Mm-hmm. And so on like
did a lot
family
of jail
gatherings,
time, stuff like that.
Yeah, like they're around at Christmas and there's like 12, 13-year-old you and they haven't seen you in a year. And they just still think of you as a kid, so they kind of tussle around to just be fun and be like pretending that they're still like in with the family and not weird, and then it comes off as weird inadvertently. I think that's where it kind of comes from sometimes, where they don't really know, oh wait, no, this kid is already like in a year's time, a kid grows up quick, and that's, they grow up fast, obviously. But I think that's where it kind of comes from sometimes with the furuncles, that they just are. They tussle around and they try and wrestle you to the ground, but it's like, stop it. Like I'm well past that point.
Right. And that year hit really hard for me because like my family, we drink a lot of milk, so it's like, the more milk you drink, your kid's going to grow up quicker. So like, you gotta watch that. You gotta be mindful of that as an uncle. As an uncle, every time you have a kid that you're wrestling around with, or like your favorite nephew or niece or whatever, you got to check with those parents and ask them, how much milk are you giving that kid? Because I need to know when they cross that threshold, it's not cool for me to be wrestling around with them anymore. Then maybe we'll switch to just like, Street Fighter or finger painting or something. Like, you got to know these things. So ask about how much milk children are drinking. Ask that. Always be asking that. Always.
That is important. It's
important knowledge.
Because it puts hair on the chest. And you don't want to be that one kid in, 7th grade swim class that's got a hairy chest. Yeah, you don't really want that, especially because it's just not aerodynamic.
Yeah, got to get them bones nice and long, man. You got to get them long bones.
You need long bones.
You need long bones.
Yeah.
And that's where milk comes in.
Long bone, you want to be more like Long Bone Louie. Long Bone Louie is like, it's like his hands are dragging on the ground because his forearms are just like, they're like anacondas with how long they are. It's just the weirdest.
That guy's reaching stuff on the top shelf at the grocery store. Trust me.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. Long Bone Louie is ridiculous. Bob, what do you think Furuncle means?
Well, I really want it to be a summertime comedy film where your uncle is Hitler. That's what I really want it to be, but it's not. Now, Furuncle is not going to win this week, but it is fun to define.
Oh, come on.
I'll give you that. Furuncle is the process of taking a heavy element and formulating it into something a little more useful.
Like the fifth element?
Well, it's not uncommon to take some
Big bada boom.
cadmium or mercury into your secret underground laboratory, which we all have. Hashtag am I right? And you transmute it into something a little more useful, like a pasta salad or egg salad, or basically anything you can take to a picnic or a potluck, a clam bake, or maybe even a wiener roast. Now, this definition was not an elaborate ruse to let me say wiener, but I now have said it twice. Furuncle.
I like the idea of being able to go in a lab and then take mercury that
taking meerkats and turning them into pasta salad.
And turn it into a pasta salad that also lights up your shoes. I think that's cool. I mean, when you were the kid at school that had the light up shoes, you were the fucking best, And I know this because I know kids that still have the light up shoes. Anytime I see them, I'm like, damn, that's real freaking fly. And they're like, wow.
Oh, no, now it's those kids with those skate shoes.
Sure.
Got that wheel in the back. Oh, cool.
Yeah, no. Those,
I totally want to throw a stick in front of them.
Those are the worst.
Aha,
those are the worst. I've seen kids in malls that have the skate shoes that have fallen on their faces, and I could not help but laugh. And I'm sorry to the kids out there that have broken their orbital bones doing it, but you had it coming. But no, instead, what I want is I want Furuncle shoes that are, half like Mastacholi and then half like light up shoes. I want adult light up shoes. That's just all I want, really, in life. Do those exist? Someone has to make them. You guys have nothing? Thanks. I just want some LA gears. Moving on. Furuncle. Let's get Ryan's guess. He texted me.
I thought you were going to do a funny gag where it was just silent for 10 seconds.
No. I was about to. No, Furuncle, Ryan says, Furuncle is that thing where your dad's... Okay, hold on. Where your dad's best friend, who dresses up in a bear costume, makes you sit on the couch and watch every season of Party of Five with him in a row.
Every season in a row. That is just too much.
So your dad's best friend dresses up in a bear costume, and then you watch Party of Five. Okay, Ryan, if you say so. I will tell you guys the real definition of Furuncle. It is a boil.
A what?
A boil.
So I was right then. So it's basically that boil of an uncle that won't stop, trying to, downward dog you. Just I don't know what you call the wrestling version of that. What's the wrestling term? It's mount, I guess, mount you, but that just sounds way horrible.
Don't do that. No, don't do that. No, it really is. It's basically...
It just keeps getting darker the longer you talk.
Yeah, I know, right? No, I mean, that's just it. You go look at Merriam-Webster, a definition of Furuncle, and it just says boil. And then it sort of points to boil, and the second one, which is a localized swelling and inflammation of the skin resulting from infection or of a hair follicle and adjacent tissue having a hard central core and forming pus. It's a boil on your skin. That's what a Furuncle is.
That's pretty goddamn gross.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's a pretty ugly, gross word you brought to this sanctuary, this wonderful, pleasant wordatorium.
Don't even. This is not a sanctuary, my friend. That has been desecrated many years ago. Now, before we move on to the next one, I want to revisit Ryan's guess because it came in late for garrulous. Ryan says garrulous is that familiar quality that both Gary Busey, Gary Oldman, and Gary Indiana have. Nick Nolte is very garrulous. So that's his guess. And I was right. I said that he would probably do something with the name Gary. So we were on point there. Let's move on and get Bob's word. Bob, what's your word this week?
The winning word this week, friends, is lodestar. Lodestar.
Is it one who jams? Oh no, that's Lone Star. All right, so you said lodestar, like LOADSTAR.
No, it's like LODESTAR.
Oh, okay.
Lodestar.
Okay.
Am I a galactic superhero? Am I something that shines in the night sky? Am I that weird beverage on your grocer's shelf? You don't know. Lodestar.
Nice. I have got a couple ideas that are rolling through my head here. I'm going to stick with one, though. I'm going to say that Lodestar is the... It is the highest pinnacle that Kurt Loder reached in his career.
This is the highest evolution of Kurt Loder.
He's a third echelon lodestar.
Yeah, and I mean, really, like, Lodestar, it does expand beyond Kurt Loder. It really is... What have you achieved in your life compared to the highest pinnacle of Kurt Loder? You know, like right now, I've got to be somewhere around like an eighth Kurt Loder at most. Like Kurt Loder did a lot of stuff. If we're looking at his Wikipedia, I mean, wasn't he on MTV at one point? But I mean, he went into like politics and like, you know, he went through a whole kind of course with journalism and with the Rolling Stone, and he's done stuff with Esquire and Time and stuff like that. But let's see, prior to Rolling Stone, Loder had worked for Circus Magazine, had been drafted into the United States Army. I mean, he was drafted into the Army, so I mean, that's a whole other level of Kurt Loder that some people aren't going to be able to reach. But yeah, Kurt Loder is sort of, you can think of it tetragram style, you know, where you do have a highest evolution, a highest pinnacle, but it really is like the star on top of the Kurt Loder tree. And let's be honest, he's not going to reach that himself again, but that gives everybody a benchmark against which they can judge their career. They can judge their life's accomplishments. They can say, I've climbed to the top of Kurt Loder. You can plant your flag at the top of Kurt Loder, at the peak of his pinnacle. And yeah, you can say, you know, reach for the Kurt Loder star, the lodestar. And if you miss, you're going to fall on the Kurt Loder clouds, I guess. I don't know. Something more, inspirational. So that's
Loder clouds. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's my guess for Lodestar. Dave, what do you think? What do you think Lodestar means?
Lodestar.
Like a fluffer? Like
Oh.
no, not a fluffer. And don't Google that, children under the age of don't own
30.
Under the age of don't own an iPhone. Lodestar. So Lodestar is. So like,
do you need an extra minute?
No, it's fine. So you know, like,
if you want a minute, I can just say Lodestar
For a minute,
roughly 1 minute to get that.
Lodestar.
So you guys ever been like? You ever been like?
So what's your name? Lodestar.
God damn it, Bob. So you guys
what does that even mean? Lodestar.
This is the worst,
motherfucker.
You're so garrulous.
Do you have any identification, sir? Lodestar.
Lodestar doesn't need identification.
How do you spell that? Lodestar.
Okay, Dave.
You have a business card with a Lodestar.
I guess you did need a minute. Like, I guess Bob decided for you. You needed a minute. Dave, what were you gonna say?
Okay, so You ever been like in somebody's house and you're like ready to knock down one of their walls and they're like, whoa, don't do that, man. That's like a load bearing wall. And you're like, what does that mean? And they're like, oh, if you took out that wall, bring down the whole house. Take out that wall over there. And you're like, all right, cool. So like a lodestar is kind of like the same thing, but it's like at the very top part of an arch in architecture. So it's like that star that like basically actually no, you know, so it's like that with your friends. You can just edit this part, Bob. So it's like that with your friends when they're like, that's a load bearing wall.
I'll fix this in post. Lodestar.
All right, great. But the lodestar is actually very integral part of the Christmas tree. So you put the star on top of the tree. Before that, like there's a purposeful reason why you put it on at the end, because once you put that on top of the tree, if you take anything off or put anything else on, the tree will fall over. It's like a load bearing star for the top of the tree, the lodestar. They say so. It's what keeps the tree upright and okay. And I fucking hate this word, and I couldn't think of anything funny. But that is lodestar.
Lodestar.
Dave, go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Come
what?
on.
What?
Say it.
Lodestar.
Oh, fuck you.
Lodestar.
There we go.
Lodestar.
Oh, God, no. I should not ask.
Whoa, you went off.
I will get you, Lodestar. See, man, I could be a voice actor, dude. I'm good.
You just offended Bob. Okay.
You'd be yeah, we want Bob Ball because he's got a great voice. And what's the name of that guy who mispronounces everything? Make sure we get him too. He's great.
Well, before we ask for the real definition of lodestar, let's get Ryan's guess via text. Ryan writes in
Lodestar.
He says lodestar is when you have a dump that is so remarkable that your toilet refuses to be flushed. Knowing that it will lose possibly the greatest gift it has ever received.
It just permanently shuts down.
Yeah, basically, it really reaches the Kurt Loder style lodestar pinnacle of dumps. Which, I mean, I'm happy that one of us got in the shit joke this week, because that's
how is he funnier and he's not even here?
I don't know how he does it. I think what happens is he puts so much effort into taking care of his sick children and making sure they get to bed that it like gathers up all its funny power so that he just flushes it out at us every week, right? Maybe
but like, I mean, come on, man. How hard is it to like take care of kids? You just like change the litter box, give them a Lunchables, and just like peace out. Like, you know, you're cool. Like, you just put some styrofoam on the corners of your tables, and you're all right. Like, what do you got to worry about? You know?
Maybe one of those kids left a lodestar in the litter box. You don't know.
I just like the idea of like kids in a room and just putting a litter box in the middle and be like, all right, I'll be back in a couple hours. Like, I don't know. That makes me a terrible human being. I'm sorry.
But it's just... You are awful, but I am laughing at the thought of a very confused and concerned child leaving their human waste in a litter box.
I mean, like 3 kids, though, and they're like all from different families, and like they've never met before, and
that's
just
the worst daycare ever. That is the worst. We probably have daycares like that around here. Milwaukee has some awful daycare centers that like childcare that are like literal. They're just fronts for people to get money because there's a lot of funding that can go to daycare centers. I hope everybody listening doesn't take this as an idea. Hey, I'm going to go make just this fake daycare center and take care of like my cousin's kids and then get a bunch of funding from the government. Like, don't do that. But
Word Rango Daycare.
But I guarantee if we had a Word Rango Daycare, I mean, at some point, you got to just throw a litter box in there and just be like, there you go. Like, you know,
good luck.
It's fine.
Good luck. I got to run back to the store and get a pack of smokes.
And I'm sure that lodestars then are the crusted, feces that aren't from cats but from humans after it gathers up around litter. You know, maybe that's
Lodestar.
What it is. Lodestar, and then you sell it on eBay. Bob, what does lodestar actually mean?
Lodestar. It's one that serves as an inspiration, model, or guide. Lodestar.
So Kurt Loder. I mean, I was pretty much dead on, right?
Internet, I am your Lodestar.
So say that for me one more time.
It's someone that serves as an inspiration, model, or guide.
Inspiration, model, or guide.
So
and
you
it's
could say
Lodestar.
you could say Toothless Fergie is the lodestar of Word Rango.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And no wonder we always,
You wouldn't say it like that. You'd say it more like, Lodestar.
Rosha.
And it is someone, not something, right? That specifically, it's looking for a figurehead that's a person that you look up to, that you model yourself after, like Kurt Loder in his prime. Mm-hmm. And that,
Kurt Loder Prime, Lodestar.
I was right. Let's just get that out there. I was right. Let's all say it together.
I was right.
Moving on. It's scenario time. Oh, man. So there may only be 3 words this week, and typically when we do that, we only bring out one scenario. But I think we can kind of just liven things up here with a bunch of different random shit. So we're going to start with one. This was
Lodestar.
This was an idea I had for Ryan, but instead what we're going to do, Bob, you are Ryan in this one. And you're writing an angry letter to the producers of Friends because you're upset that Chandler and Monica's adoption story arc, you're upset with it because you believe that the 2 characters deserve to know the joys of pregnancy and birth on their own terms. You're also not aware that it's 2014 instead of 2004.
So apparently I'm watching these in reruns.
You are, but you don't realize that you're actually watching TBS reruns instead of it being live. And so you really are convinced that it's 2004 again, and that it's season 10 of Friends, and that this thing's wrapping up soon. And so, you're writing an angry letter to the producers of Friends. Go.
Dear TBS, I am super sad that you have decided to take the Chandler and Monica storyline and make them adopt a child instead of enjoying childbirth the natural way and having it through the vaginas. Do you know how awesome that childbirth is? Do you know all of the stuff that comes out with a child? Let me lift it. A, the child. B, some cream cheese. C, some grape jelly. D, I think I have this all wrong. Let me start this over. Dear TBS, oh God, childbirth is awful. No one should do it. Love, Ryan.
All right.
P.S. I sure would like to show you my new dirt bike.
I really want to see that dirt bike. I really want to check it out.
Okay, let's just go to scenario 2, in which, Dave, you and I both got new dirt bikes.
Okay.
But what happened is that you're like, you phoned me up and you're like, dude, I gotta show you something. And I'm like, I gotta show you.
Dirt bike.
No, you don't tell me. And I'm like, I gotta show you something. So you show up and we both are freaking out because we surprise each other with new dirt bikes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. He's gonna be so stoked. I'm pushing this crazy big dirt bike over to the meeting spot and not making noise by riding it into the venue, but thus not tipping him off to the surprise. Ugh. Oh, and I'm here. Whew. Let's get this tarp on there. All right. Cool. I arrived early, as usual. He's late.
I'm in the house. You're supposed to knock on the fucking door.
Sorry, I thought we were meeting in a random field, but apparently I'm just walking it up to your door. Ding dong.
Yes.
Hey, I got this giant thing I want to show you at your doorstep. Ding dong.
Boom! Jumps over the house. Check it out, Dave. I got a fucking dirt bike. Look at this. It's a 150cc Honda. They call it an Accord because it's made out of Honda Accord parts. It's a dirt bike that's made out of car parts. It's fantastic.
Well,
check it out. Do you want to try it?
Dude,
What?
Check what's underneath the tarp. Got my own motherfucking dirt bike. Wait.
No way.
We got the same color, dude. We got the same color. Oh my God. I always knew we were like mentally linked.
Let's say what color it is on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Serrano.
Blue.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's such a nice finish, man. Oh, it's the best paint job ever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Listen to this puppy go. You ready?
Do it. Start it up.
That thing is just purring like a kitten.
Oh, it's got such rhythm. It's got such timbre. Oh man, do you want to try mine? I'll try yours.
Oh man, you want to do a little bike swap? Do it. Here.
Little
dirt bike key party. I'm down.
Here's the
All
keys.
Right.
You don't have to put. I know it's made out of a Honda Accord, but like you don't have to push the button to unlock the doors because I mean it's a dirt bike now. The same key still works in the ignition.
I just like how the doors flip up like a DeLorean. That's some classy stuff right there.
It, right? I mean it's so futuristic. Go ahead, give it a start. What it is? It's an iambic bike.
Yeah, I could hear that.
Stop. Hey, what are you guys doing out here? What are you doing with those sriracha colored dirt bikes?
Shut up, old man Carruthers. We can ride dirt bikes if we wanna.
Wait a minute.
Sick and tired of that motherfucker telling me not to ride my dirt bike.
Are you the Lodestar of dirt bikes? Bro!
Lodestar, I see you've seen my work.
Wait a minute.
Hang on, let me get my dirt bike. I have to carry it over that hill over there.
Do it. Do it.
Oh, this thing was much lighter in my younger days. Where are my keys? Who's got the Lodestar's keys?
They're in your pocket. Just start your fucking dirt bike.
Oh
remember your assistant called out today because he wasn't able to make it?
Yeah.
Oh, that fur uncle is never going to work in this town again.
Wow. That sounds like the mixture. It sounds like you put... That dirt bike sounds like you put a bunch of salmon in a blender.
Yeah, he splurged for the gremlin package there, man.
Yeah.
That thing is tricked out.
That's what it sounds like. I like it, though. So how many cc's is that, Lodestar?
Like about 10,000.
Oh, stat.
Damn, what is that?
That's why my sriracha colored bike is about the size of the Chrysler Building.
All right. I think we're done.
And here I was thinking maybe we were about to get to starting a dirt bike gang. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we would call it.
There's time for that. It's a school night. Who has time for that?
Nobody has time for that.
Nobody's got time for bike gangs. Only Tetsuo and Akira. They've got time for bike gangs.
I do like that we took time to just make believe that we got dirt bikes, and that really makes me sad because dirt bikes are so fucking cool that now that I don't have one, it just kind of makes me realize I want one,
Yeah.
I've legitimately had dreams in the last couple weeks that I had a motorcycle. And every time I've woken up, I've been like, that's the best dream I've ever had. Because I'm just awesome on a bike.
You were covered in grape jelly.
Well, that too. But
I had a weird dream about a motor kite, which is a motorized kite. Flying it around, just pulling on the ripcord a lot, like it's a weed whacker, and just flying it for days down at the beach. Just having good times.
Were you wearing sandals and a very loose white button-down shirt?
Oh no, dude! I had a leather jacket and jeans on. I mean, you
really?
gotta be protected. I mean, if you take a spill on a motor kite, then you could get dinged up pretty hard.
Oh, so
do you watch a lot of Japanese anime before bedtime?
Why is there a lot of motor kites in Japanime?
That just sounds like something you would see in Japanime.
Just motor kites. Sure.
Oh, let me get my motor kite.
Wow.
And then,
Yeah. Oh no, Mothra!
Well, that was offensive.
all right. Now that we just got sufficiently racist.
You got sufficiently. Just had to make sure we reach that mark.
Yeah,
that's
just gotta cut
the
that racism
anti-Kurt
out in
Loder.
post. Get that racism out in post.
But what we do need to do is we need to get some escalator pitches up in here. So, Dave, why don't you hit us with yours for garrulous?
All right, garrulous is, it's important. It's underneath that all-important threshold of 3 syllables. So garrulous, it flows off the tongue, sounds great. It reminds you about Mass Effect if you're a video game person. It's it's just a good word. It's got that double stacked R, like everybody else's favorite words in the world, like married and carried and larried and all these other great words. And it's just like excessively talkative, especially on trivial matters. So it's like next time you want to like sound really smart and somebody's like, oh, Seinfeld is the greatest sitcom ever made, and you want to be like playing devil's advocate and argue against or well, that's not really the definition of devil's advocate. You want to argue against it for some odd reason. You can say, oh, well, I find it to be a bit too garrulous for me. And everybody's like, oh shit, look how smart you are. Like you have valuable, witty contributions to make on Seinfeld. And then you're just great. Garrulous. Just garrulous.
Yeah,
Garrulous.
I like
stanza.
I like what you offered there.
Thank you.
One of those really struck a chord with me. I'll let you decide which one.
Just vaguely, broadly talk about what I...
No, I'm serious.
One of those words you said really struck a chord. I'll let you figure out which one.
It's gonna come up in the vote. Let's just put it that way. My escalator pitch for Furuncle. It looks like Furuncle, and I'm surprised that we didn't have like your uncle that only wears furs. I mean, that could be great. It's kind of
your uncle is Joe Namath from the Super Bowl.
Yes. Actually, he is. Oh, wow, that's true. He did wear a lot of furs.
Look at me being referential about stuff that happened months ago.
Well done. Well done, Bob. No, Furuncle, it does mean a boil, like on your skin. But, when you have something shitty like that, like a boil or something, it's just, even the word boil is nasty, because boil is just such a common word for cooking and stuff, for boiling water, let's say. That you don't really want to use that word. I think that nastiness needs its own awkward, nasty, barely usable word. And I think Furuncle is just confusing and it hits you in such a way because you think of that awkward, weird uncle that does tackle you to the ground when you're far too old for it and does wear furs and all that stuff. So I think that having that word, it needs to be more popularized, and I wanted to bring it because, again, it looks like a compound word when it's not, kind of a thing. Furuncle. I'm all about it. I think it's so weird and just wacky that it deserves your vote. So that's my escalator
And it
pitch.
sounds like Hitler's your uncle.
Sure. Well, he might be. Bob, give us your escalator pitch for Lodestar, please.
Lodestar. That's pretty much it. Lodestar.
All right, Kurt Loder. Moving on, it's vote time. Dave, you had first word. I want you to start. You have to give us your number 1 and number 2 between Furuncle and Lodestar.
Sorry, I figured by picking just my number 1, you'd already know the number 2.
No, I'm not smart enough for that.
As much as I really like a Furuncle, I like the idea of it. I think the definition we came up with was really great. I'm gonna have to go with Lodestar for just better, sheer impact, and for yet again being a word that Bob Balls found to say in a very unique and interesting way. And it's a callback. It's a future callback. This is me investing in the future of Lodestar.
I like that. That's you're Shark Tanking it. I like that a lot.
Yes, I'm Shark Tanking it. Yes.
And now, does that mean that Furuncle is your number 2?
Yes, that does mean it's my number 2.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that my word got said. Bob, you have to pick between Garrulous and Furuncle.
Lodestar. I'm here to save you all. I'm the highest evolution of Kurt Loder, Lodestar. I used to walk the earth with the rest of you, but then I went to let's say space, Lodestar,
Pop, garrulous, and furuncle.
are both insufficient words. Both inadequate compared to Lodestar.
Come on.
Lodestar will pick Furuncle.
Ooh, furuncle.
And the number 2 word is Lodestar.
Nope. No.
Because when you put that number 2 in the bowl, it can't do anything else besides look at your Lodestar.
That's gross.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. How dare you?
It's down to
Lodestar.
It's down to me, and I can't believe this is happening because I did decide in advance what my vote was going to be. Mm-hmm. My number 1 is garrulous.
Nice. Three-way tie? Three-way tie?
We have, because my number 2 is Lodestar. That means that, yes, we actually have a 3-way tie this week.
Nope, Lodestar.
No, definitely not. Look, Kurt Loder, you're a has-been.
Well, we've been saying it for years, and now it's finally true. Everybody wins on Word Rango.
Yeah. You know what? That's right. We all get a piece of the pie this week. Mm-hmm. That delicious...
And the biggest pie goes to Lodestar.
And Ryan gets no pie. We get all the pie.
We get all the pie.
Enjoy it.
We enjoy that pie. And
all the pie will be licked off of Lodestar.
Lodestar sounds like a shitty comic book character or like a low rent, intercontinental champion in wrestling. It's like Lodestar's is setting them up for the Hyperstar moon press. I don't know. I don't know.
The load slam or something.
Oh, the load slam. Lodestar's gonna slam. Oh.
You'll have to pry this intercontinental belt out of the dead cold hands of Lodestar.
Bob, I would really love, I don't know if we have time, but if you really want, if you could cut a promo as Lodestar the wrestler right now, that would save this episode, I think. No?
Just give me a moment. It's coming to me.
Okay.
He has to find his character. Don't rush acting, dude. Don't rush it. Can't do that.
Mambo Zika, do you think you can take me at SummerSlam? Do you think you can pry the Intercontinental Belt out of Lodestar's hands? There's no way! I've been the Intercontinental Champion for 19 and a half minutes. I am Lodestar!
And you know what, Bob? I'm picturing... we're all at this wrestling show, this house show, and you're on the mat, and we're trying to get you to get pumped back up and to get that second wind so you can retain the Intercontinental Belt. We're all chanting, Lodestar! 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 Oh, man, I want Lodestar to be a wrestler now. I'm all about that. And if you want Lodestar to be a wrestler, or if you want to write in this week to tell us how much you hate Ryan, Bob, where do they do that?
Lodestar! Well, you can send us an email to wordrango@gmail.com. Or, hey, how about a fun Facebook message? Facebook.com/wordrango, where next week we may even have an exciting announcement. You could get us on Twitter.com/wordrango. We would like to thank of all of our Rangoon supporters. If you need places to listen to Word Rango, how are you hearing this right now? Are you a wizard?
Sorry, that was really good.
You're welcome. #am I right? But if you want to tell your friends, have them go to bit.ly/wordrango. And it will take them to our iTunes page.
Yeah, it will.
That's it.
And
That's all you gotta do.
But once you're on that iTunes page, leave us a review, 5 stars, a couple words. Tell us what your favorite word is that you've heard from Word Rango. That maybe ones that you actually use in everyday life. I want to think that people do find ways to actually use these words, and it can just be once or twice. But if you heard it from us, that means the world to us. We're discovering these hilarious terms and how some of them actually have these meanings that we can make use of in context. But it's even more fun when it's out of context because we all know what they mean. It's like you're all in on the joke with us. And we like when everybody that's listening is in on it with us. Mm-hmm. And the only way we know that is when you participate with us. I see the download numbers. They're kind of, they're hovering right now. We want to get more people in on the jokes. So please do your best to share it. And then just, hit us up at Word Rango, facebook.com/WordRango. We're always listening. Like, you're all our friends. That's the way I
Are
look
we
at
your
it.
lodestar?
I would hope
we
so.
should be.
I hope we're not your fear uncles. We probably are, Let's be real. Probably. We do fill that role quite frequently for everybody in our lives. But that does it. Next week, we're going to have 4 more words for you guys to digest and spit back out in your everyday. This has been Word Rango.
Lodestar.
I was waiting for that.
Word Rango, Word Rango, Word Rango, Word Rango. I love the words, but they don't love me back. Cool.